The full-time whistle was blown at the Emirates Stadium. Arsenal won, Fulham won, and on the full-time whistle, Eddie Nketiah grabbed a deserved equaliser for Arsenal. I don't think anyone's going to kid themselves that we played brilliantly today, but had Fulham won that game, it would have been quite difficult to believe. This was a game, really, which hinged on millimetres. I mean, we talk about fine margins in the Premier League. They don't really get finer than this when you consider the degree to which Bukayo Saka was deemed to be offside in the build-up to the Danny Ceballos goal, which was disallowed, the degree to which Fulham's penalty was upheld based on an onside decision, and then the minimal contact, if any, between Gabriel and the Fulham forward. And then, of course, the fractional save made by Areola from that Nicola Pepe header somehow kept out. And then they even tried to find a way to disallow the equalising goal from Nketiah. Fortunately not. This is a game. First and foremost, I'm not one of those people who sort of, well, I hope I'm not, maybe I am, but who often goes, oh, I was right about that. But I have sort of said all season long that, not all season long, for some time now, that our Premier League season was sort of a busted flush. And I just think that's been upheld. I don't think we're a team that's ever been able to produce any kind of consistency this season. I think that the injuries that we've suffered make that all the more difficult. As the Europa League increases in importance, as it inevitably will, I think it's natural that our Premier League performances might drop off and we'll drop yet more points. Basically, I think it's been pretty clear since sort of November time we were headed for mid-table somewhere. And I think that's absolutely been borne out. There is a need to rotate. I understand that. You know, someone like Thomas Partey, who's had his injury problems this season, you want to give him a rest. I do think it cost us today. I do think it hurt us. I think bringing Gabriel in for Pablo Mari cost us, and I'm not so much talking about the penalty decision, although obviously that's one instance, but I think his passing out the back is not as good as Mari's. I think the system that we're currently playing without Tierney is one where three central midfielders, and we tried it actually right at the start of the season. Played it sort of in the Leicester game that we got beat, but less successfully, is one where, you know, we've got Ceballos, three in midfield basically. Ceballos, in build-up it's like a 3 and a 3. So we've got Xhaka, the two centre-halves as a 3, and then in front of that we've got three centre midfielders spread right across the pitch. And when we've played well against Sheffield United and in the last game against Prague, it's been Partey in the middle, Ceballos to the left, and then Chambers off to the right. In this game, we replaced Partey with El Neni, and we essentially asked Partey to play as a kind of one-man midfield, and he is one of the very few players who can do that. Mohamed El Neni, not so much one of those players, and I think we felt that gap, we felt that difference today. The Alexander Lacazette injury is a worry. Pleased though I am for Eddie Nketiah, who, you know, has been a bit of a forgotten man in the second half of this season. I think he showed, you know, he has got a nose for goal. He's a bit like Joe Willock in some ways. Maybe his all-round game isn't good enough for where we want to go, but I think he's a player who will score goals. And I think that means he'll have a good career somewhere. But yeah, I thought, to be fair to us, in the second half, we did really turn the screw. I think Arsenal were really unlucky not to win that game. 18 shots in the end. Fulham, I think, had one shot in the second half. Yeah, I do think that this was decided by tiny, tiny fractions. And I know the obvious response to that is, well, should it be against Fulham? And the answer is no, but this is how good we are and how good we've been all season. So I can't pretend I'm surprised. That's all. Just sort of, you know, we ain't great. So the fractions are fine. Credit to Matt Ryan, who went up there right at the death and made an intervention with his head that led to the goal. We'll be delighted with that. Bukayo Saka tried everything to get Arsenal the equaliser in this game. Credit to him. Martinelli, dangerous throughout. Smith Rowe had his moments. But yeah, we just didn't... you know what? It wasn't a brilliant performance, but I do think how that Pepe chance didn't go in, I don't know. You know, we were very unlucky with the first VAR decision. They were lucky to get their goal. I can't help but feel this is a game Arsenal were unlucky not to win. It wasn't as bad as some of the games earlier in the season where we dropped points. We were doing a lot more right than that. Some people are still going to be really frustrated because that's what happens. But for all the points we've dropped them in a lot worse ways than this. I'm going to leave it there because I've got a sore throat. Bye.